What up, y'all? It is breakdown time. We're doing one of my tracks. It's from my last EP on UFO Recordings. The track is OOOOOOO. Get it on vinyl. If you haven't gotten the vinyl yet, link in the description. Grab a copy. Here comes the video. And before the video, actually, I know a lot of you go, Alex, we want to support you. How can we support you? You can buy one of these. Buy one of these. I got a lot of vinyl online. Go to my Bandcamp, link down below. Let's get into it. All right, so first things first, we've got some pretty simple drums. We're at 170 beats per minute, and the kick is just gonna be, I don't know, it might be an Ableton kick, I think. Kick sub 909 long. It's just this kick here. There's no effects on it. I just have a auto filter that's coming on sometimes. And then all the bass line is I took this kick and then I flipped it around to get this. So to do that again, you would be like that. And then just flip it. And then I think it looks like I faded it a bit. So it would, that way it just like comes in when this is going down. So it's something like this. Super easy. Whoops, where'd we go? And yeah, there's nothing on this either. So that's the kick and bass line for you. Yeah, I tend to, I like to be extremely simple with as much as I can when I'm producing. Because I guess it seems like it helps me focus more on the overall song rather than on each sound or something. But yeah, in terms of this little melody here, I'm pretty sure I made it. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I made it by taking a kick. Let's see if I can redo it. It's been, I think, a couple years since I made this track. What the fuck is that weird sound? Why does that sound so weird? Huh. Okay, let's just try it with, I don't know what's going on and I don't want to figure it out right now. So let's just try it with this kick. I'm pretty sure I just had the shifter. And then if you go all the way up with it, I'm pretty sure I did something like this. It might have been with the old shifter, which I actually liked better. But I think I was just messing with it. Something like this. Yeah. Something like that, and I just got a little melody out of it. Because it still says kick sub 909 long freeze, so I'm pretty sure that's what I did. I think I just took this kick and then made a little fun, little cute melody out of it. And let me take the shifter off the kick. And it sounds like, yeah, we've got a little auto pan. Okay, that does make a big difference. Yeah, so it's kind of like a tremolo. Then some reverb. And that's about it. So again, pretty simple. I don't even know if I high passed it, which you're supposed to, right? Let's see. Okay, I probably did, or there was just no low end in it. But yeah, so now we're getting there. And then the drums, very easy. 808 maraca. Love the 808 maraca. No effects on it. So right now we've got then just a 707 clap. I think this is the stock Ableton clap. It looks like I shortened the decay a bit. And then this ride. Another stock Ableton ride. On the ride I did do not much, but oh, I monoed it because this is super stereo. And then took out the low end. And then this LFO is making it kind of dip a little bit. So see how straight it is right now? Just makes it kind of pulsate a bit. So that's it. That's it for the main groove at the beginning. And let's see what happens as we continue on with the track. So yeah. Okay, so now we got some fun stuff going on. So, see, this was the old shifter. This was the best. I thought this was way cooler. I don't know. Usually I'm fine with upgrades. I mean, sometimes I get annoyed at first, but I loved this frequency. I don't know why. Whatever. But so this is easy. Now I just have my voice. So if I take off everything, it's just going to sound like this. So I probably just did like a oh sound with my voice. And then I glitched it. So then I just took a chunk. So like I could take this chunk, for example, duplicate that, maybe cut the end off, fade it a little bit, do that, you know, etc. And then arrange it in a way that I like. So I had this. It sounds like I pitched this O up. And then I added some effects. So what did I add? The main one is going to be, at least for this first part, it's just the frequency shifter. See how it goes up? So it just shoots the frequency of the vocal up. Oh yeah, I did that a few times. Yeah, the frequency shifter is super cool and it's super easy. Roth Air, free plugin, adds high end to stuff. Really nice. So with it, without it, with it. And then some overdrive, and what's the overdrive doing? I think it's just adding a little more high end. Because I remember being kind of annoyed with how the vocal was sitting in the mix. And then I added more high end with this EQ. So I'm basically just adding high end with these three things. This might add a little... And that just helps it pop out in the mix more. Here's without. Yeah, so it just helps it like stand out more in the mix. See, here's it without it. Still kind of works. I feel like this makes it much more present and like in your face, and I tend to make pretty in your face sort of vibes. So same thing's gonna happen here. We're gonna keep going. Okay, and then so I do this a lot. Basically, you can take a vocal, you can just zoom in on it, duplicate it a lot like this. Easy, get a cool sound. Bam. Now, yeah, I think it sounds like this is different than this one. Whoops. I think I just liked having some variation to keep it interesting, and so that's happening at the beginning of bar 8, and then it's happening again after 4 bars, and then let's see what happens next. Okay, this is pretty simple. So now we get the main vocal. And that's what I like these, just by giving a snippet of the main vocal and the lead line, like it's kind of like foreshadowing here, you know, why you're getting this before we get. So in terms of effects, I think it's basically the same thing, just adding high end, doing some frequency shifting at one point. Some EQ. There's no, I don't think there's, at least that I'm aware of, some like golden rule for like how to EQ vocals or whatever. I just boosted them here because I thought it sounded better. I know that's a lame answer. Here's some more high end. Then for some reason I took some high end out. And then, oh, what is this? Okay, so on the EQ8, it's kind of cool. You can go into these different modes like LR mode. And you can adjust just the left or just the right. And so I'm guessing, let's see, did it sound uneven? Because it looks like I ducked the high end of just the right one out. I'm honestly not sure why I did that. I can't tell much of a difference, but it looks like I didn't do the thing you're supposed to do where you go like this to get the low end out. But yeah, so that's that vocal. Let me save this just so I make sure I don't mess something up. Analyze, I guess, whatever. I think I misspelled that. Okay, so yeah, So I do this cool little, I think it's kind of cool, right when the vocal comes in, we get this. Kick hitting, claps hitting twice. Then I just drop the kick out and the bass line for a beat. I think that just adds a nice timing to things, gives it a little life. Because I think with this track, part of what I like about it is it's extremely simple in some ways. I basically just took an idea, and then I'm just going to modulate this idea for the duration of the track. And so a lot of like cool variations that I can create with the few tracks that are there is going to be a lot of what drives the interest. And I can't remember, I think it was like a pretty conscious decision. I just really wanted to like flow with this track. Like when I made it, like sometimes I think I have hats coming in at a little bit of a weird time, almost like maybe they would in like some older Drexciya tracks where you get a bit more of like a live sort of feel to it. Because yeah, I think, again, it's been so long since I made this track, but I'm pretty sure I just wanted it to feel like very live and very fun and very, energetic. So I like little like variations like this, Yeah, and then like the hat comes in, it misses the first three hats, but that's just a 909 hat with some delay on it. Nothing crazy. All right, so let's keep listening. Okay, cool. Yeah, so this is kind of what I mean. So basically, we have all these little kick variations, right? Now we're going to a new section just to like keep it interesting. And now I basically just take the oh thing and then I just stutter it a bit more. So instead of you get yeah, and you just stutter it a bit more, and that it just sounds different. I think it sounds cool, and then as the listener, you're like, oh, it's a new thing. But it's cool because, like I said, I'm just variating this idea that already exists. So I like that. I don't know. I think it can help like stick this idea in your head very well if I just keep variating it, but keep it familiar enough so this is similar to this. It's like, I mean, that's just similar. It's the same thing, just stuttered. And now I'm basically just gonna, for this breakdown, it looks like just gonna do some more little variations on the vocal. There's those little things I showed you earlier. Oh yeah, this is a cool thing you can do. So I learned this because I've tried to sing in a lot of my tracks, and I am putting some of my vocals in a lot more of my tracks, but there's been a lot of times where I'll make a vocal line and I think it's lame. But I learned that if you stutter every single word of the vocal line, it can be pretty cool. So in here I just took the vocal line, this and I just stutter every part, and then you get that cool sound. I like that. And yeah, let's look at this. So let's see. So this should be like 8 bars. Typically, that's what happens. You have like an 8-bar like little breakdown or something. When I said typically what happens, it's like usually, these songs are working in 2, 4, 8, 16-bar cycles. And so it's kind of cool. I think it's kind of cool, like I said, going with this like live sort of vibe, is that after this 8 bars, you get, again, like the kick takes a second to come in, the bass takes a second to come in, and yeah, it just, it's not just like 8 bars of claps, 8 bars of maracas. Nothing's wrong with that, by the way, but for this track, I thought this was cool. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, and then I think I got this cymbal in there, which is cool. It's kind of like a nice little hook. I'm not sure where some of these sounds are coming from. Where are we? Is it from here? Oh, it is from here. Yeah, so that's that's cool when you do these stutters. Like, this is a crazy sound. Okay, and what did I do there? Okay, yeah, so here I just did a stutter with, like, the frequency shifter. You know, I could have done that. Yeah, frequency shifter's sick. Especially the old version.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, and now... Wait, this is weird. Yeah, see, I haven't looked at this track in a long time, so that's 8 bars. So then I have this little... I just loved this sound whenever I got this loop. To me, it sounds... I don't know, I think it reminds me of, like, I wear my sunglasses at night or whatever. I just feel like it had some sort of cool vibe that I felt like was very, like, kind of classic club sounding to me. And so I think I tried to get it in there a few times. So after this 8 bars, we have 1 bar of just this. And then it looks like we're going to go back on an 8-bar cycle. So this might mess up some DJs because if you are assuming the track is 8 bars, 8 bars, 8 bars, 16 bars, 4 bars, whatever, this might throw you off here. Because now, like, if you lined up the next mix to be aligned with it here, it's probably going to get thrown off here. But I don't really care about that, to be honest. Like, in my opinion, if you want to DJ the track, you'll figure it out. And... yeah, I like to make tracks that might screw up some DJs.
Yeah.
Okay, now we have another little hook, which is just this, yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy. Probably high end. Yep. Just my vocal with some high end.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bring the hats back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, same thing, bringing this hook in, and let's look at what happened after this. So, up until this point, we've got the big groove. At the beginning, main idea introduced, breakdown with the main idea modulated. Main idea again. But now we dropped out the melody, and I think now we're going crazy on the vocal again.
Yeah.
Now we're kind of going back to the main idea that we had at this point. But now we don't have the melody still.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and we also have this cymbal that wasn't in earlier. So yeah, even though it's very similar to this part, there's a few differences in the makeup. I've talked about this a lot in other videos. If this is your first time, I have like 80 or something breakdowns of other songs. And it's a super easy idea to think of. If you have a track, let's say you've got these 6 elements, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8 elements. Okay, so you have these 8 elements. Basically, if you just make different combinations of these elements, you'll oftentimes be able to like make enough variation to make a song. So in this example, you have 2 greens and a yellow, and a 3rd green, and you have all this. Okay, right? This teal, this blue, this yellow, this blue. So now you could have another section where everything here is the same, except now you take out the blue. And depending on what that element is, that might be interesting enough for the listener to just keep hanging on to it. And I've mentioned all that because we're kind of doing something like we just did over here at this point, but we took out the melody, so now we get a bit of different context to hear all the things working together, and it sounds nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So pretty standard procedure here. We have a sick loop, then we add a ride to it. And funny enough, it looks like here, instead of letting... So this is where like we have a new cycle starting. Instead of having this go a full 8 bars and then doing this melody thing like I did back here, now it's only going to go 7 bars. So you can see it happening here. Oh wait, starting here, sorry. So So I'm only gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's very weird. Wait, so it's only gonna do. Wait, let me make sure that's right. This is what I mean. I think I made this track in like 2 seconds. Yeah, so that's kind of weird because it's 6 bars and then this. And then we go into a new section. So, yeah, this is definitely probably... I'm curious if any DJs have been mixing this track and gotten, like, confused. That'd be kind of funny. But, yeah, it's, you know, just let this track ride. Just mix the beginning and outro out. I don't know. Or I shouldn't even talk. If you know what you're doing, this should probably be pretty simple. So, yeah. All right, so now we go into a new section where now we're just focusing on the AAAA. So it's like I have a new lead. So even though like basically everything's the same in terms of like the makeup of units that I'm using, now I've modulated this one. So now we're just gonna focus on the AAAA. Kick pattern's a little different too. Extra kick. So now we're just like flipping back and forth. So this is kind of like earlier, I believe, during the breakdown. Let's see. Yeah, so it's kind of like the stutter from earlier, I think. It's mostly the same, but now with the kick and the groove going, because earlier it didn't have any kick. Now I'm just modulating this even more. Probably a lot of frequency shifter. Yep, see all the frequency shifter. And then I even modulated this thing. The yeah. Earlier it was like this. Yeah. But now I'm even going. Yep. Okay, now we're getting into the deep territory. We're just gonna keep doing this theme we've been doing, but now I'm putting like tons of claps in. Sick. So I really like this part. I think this demonstrates well what I talked about in terms of like how I was trying to really just go with the flow and like be spontaneous with this track. So you can hear how, I mean, let's see where this cycle starts. Yeah, so this new cycle starts here. We get 2, 4, 6 bars, 7 bars, and then that melody starts coming in. And then, let's see. That ride starts coming in too a little bit early. Yeah, so you see what I mean? There's just a lot of things like coming in, not just on the 8 or the 16. Like you have something coming in like on the 7, it looks like, and then something coming in like right before the song's about to change. So yeah, I feel like it's just, I was really trying to be like organic and be like what feels good for moment to moment, and then add or subtract. Yeah. Yeah, so this part's cool. I basically just really go crazy on the vocal edit. There's probably some frequency shifter. I don't see it. Is there? Yeah, some frequency shifter. And just some crazy chops, and then also there was something else I wanted to mention. Oh yeah, if you want to do that, so here's the impact sound. If you want to like make some like abrupt things like that, just delete everything from the track except the sound you want to hear. Yeah, this is weird. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is like another 9-bar sort of thing. But maybe it's because actually... Yeah, I don't know. That's cool how that works. So see, this is like a 9-bar loop again. Or actually, it kind of feels like this is an 8-bar loop. This is like a brief transition part. And then we basically just fade out. So all I did was I have this sample I took a while ago, available on my Patreon, by the way. Go check that out. It's just some people at the laundromat, and yeah, just put that in there. Took out the low end. Made it bounce with the beat a bit by doing the LFO on, and then made it a bit wide with the filter delay. And then the track basically fades out and it's over.
Yeah.
All right, so that's pretty simple in some ways, kind of weird in some other ways. Hope you enjoyed it. Please go ahead and check out the Bandcamp page. I'll put link below. I have a bunch of vinyl from this last release, and I also still have orders. If you want to make an order for my release with Trip, you can do that. And you can also get a what's the word? You can also buy my EP with Mama Told Ya, It's Okay to Cry. And yeah, so go ahead, check out the vinyl, grab one, and thanks for coming. Ciao.